I'm Pettina, a naturopath, nutritionist and herbalist and mum of two girls. I live and work on a coffee farm surrounded by 85,000 coffee trees located in far north Queensland. Real Talk is about sharing honest truths and my wellness stories in the hope you can relate and perhaps find comfort. But more importantly, where you can discover simple steps and clear takeaways to support your hormones, gut and fertility. So I see many women who tell me that their hormones are out of balance, but I'm not sure which one to blame, they might say. They often tell me that one minute they feel energized, capable, and the next they're feeling flat and craving sugar. If this is you, you're not alone. And the truth is our hormones are constantly communicating behind the scenes, like a royal family trying to run a very busy kingdom. The secret is it's not just usually estrogen or progesterone, but rather the king and queen of your hormonal kingdom, insulin and cortisol, who set the tone for everybody else. When I first started understanding hormones, I realized it wasn't just about the ovaries or the thyroid doing their separate things. It's about how the whole hormonal kingdom works together and the two that rule them all. Once you get them right, everything else falls into place. So let me introduce you to my favorite way of explaining hormones. In your body, insulin is the king. He manages energy and decides who gets fed. Cortisol is the queen. She keeps the realm safe and handles the stress. When they rule together with balance, the whole kingdom thrives. So here's where things can often go wrong. When the villagers, your cells, stop listening to the king, chaos begins. But why do they stop listening? So imagine the king is shouting orders all day long. Let the glucose in, let the energy flow. But the villagers are already full, tired or overwhelmed. Maybe they've been flooded with sugar too often, or the queen's stress alarms are ringing constantly. Eventually, the villagers just tune him out. And that's what happens with insulin resistance. The cells stop responding to insulin's message because they've been overstimulated for too long. Too many sugar surges and too much snacking, too much stress, and the king's voice loses its power. So the result is glucose piles up in the bloodstream. Energy gets chaotic, inflammation builds, and the queen feels she has to step in and manage the crisis. Suddenly, the whole kingdom is exhausted, and so are you. Above them, in the palace tower, we've also got the prime minister and royal messenger, and that's your hypothalamus and pituitary glands and the hormones that they create. They are in the brain, and they send orders throughout the kingdom to your thyroid, adrenals and ovaries, and they try to keep harmony based on feedback from the king and queen. But when the queen's alarms go off too often, stress, lack of sleep, blood sugar crashes, the royal court messages get scrambled and unclear, and the other hormones messages start making mistakes. So how do we restore order? We need to feed the king in a way that helps the villagers listen again. That means we need to limit snacking, so we give the king time to rest between meals. We need to eat balanced meals with fat, fiber and protein so that energy is released slowly and steadily. And we need to stay clear of refined sugar so the king's messages stay clear and strong. So this is how you rebuild trust in your kingdom. The villagers will start listening again, energy flows evenly, and the queen can start to relax. And the royal court, your thyroid, adrenals and ovaries all return to balance. Now, nobody's perfect, and you don't need to be. You just need to see the value in the effort of being consistent, because every balanced meal is a message of peace and harmony to your hormonal kingdom. Now, I love using these analogies like this to understand concepts better, which in turn helps remind us of the importance of building and continuing to stay consistent with healthy habits. And I hope this has helped you today as much as it helps my clients and me. And if it does, thanks for listening, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.